my name is Kat Kavanagh. I'm the Executive Director of Water Rangers, and our mission is to make it fun and easy for anyone to learn about water and to test the water. And to do that, we have things like our test kits and our online platform. So today I'm going to be going through our online platform and showing you how it all works. So when you arrive on the map, you'll notice that there's these little green clusters with numbers. These are actually locations where we have observations. And you're going to see some bigger numbers in the Ontario, Ottawa region and in Alabama. And I'm just going to zoom in. So you just click to zoom in so that you can actually look at it. So you can see we've got lots of observations there. So this is my lake. This is where I'm part of a lake association in Val-des-Monts in Quebec. And what we have is the opportunity to look at any location and to add an observation, report an issue, or view the summary. You can also click anywhere on the map to add a new location. And you can actually, as a person starting a program, you can create locations ahead of time where you want people to test. And then when our online app, it's going to geolocate to the person and let them know how close they are to that observation location place, which I think is a great way to help people find the right spot. So I'm just going to show you quickly around and some of the functions of what we have. So first, we can view the summary. And you can see our ice on and ice off events, the pH, all these different things. And then I can set a safe level for things like conductivity. And here I am worried if it goes above 500. So you can see that I average around 88. And we know that conductivity has a normal level for every water body. So now I know that my average is around 88, that it fluctuates between 80 and 100, and that's its sort of sweet spot. We also have things like phosphorus, and you can mouse over to see the individual observations. But we give these nice little trend maps, and you can see that in this location we've been testing since 2003. But you actually might want to look at the individual observations, and here we have our ice off day on May 9th. We're in Canada, so ice off happens quite late up here. But you can see our depth was 5.9 meters. And then we allow people to set their protocol. So in here I have a triplicate. We send it to the lab and we got 3, 2, and 1, which is very low this year. But you can see that that's there so that we can hold all that data. Now all this equipment besides the phosphorus is done with the Water Rangers test kit, but this is a lab test. We're working on it. We're working on a test that we hope that will be accurate for doing phosphorus in the field, but right now it still needs to be a lab. We also can add photos and ice off and some notes about the weather. So we have all this data and you can see that it's associated with a group. So observed by me and associated with a group. So let's have a quick look at the group. You can see that we have a leaderboard and there's 3 people in this group. We follow a protocol set out by the Federation of Lakes, and we have a nice aerial photo, and then we have our map where we can draw a region to show what we're interested in. So it's these 2 lakes, but it's also these beaver ponds behind up the mountain. Very concerning for our cottagers because if one of those beaver dams break, it can be a real problem. And then you can see the locations. So in order to join a group, you need to be registered. Makes sense. Let's log in though. I'm going to log in. I always log in with Facebook. Here we go. I'm in. And now I can have a look at my profile and you're going to see I am part of lots of groups. I am a very popular girl. But I also have these badges. I have one because I've got more than 100 badges. I've done more than 25 observations in a single location. So we use badges to try and motivate people to do good behaviors. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to show you briefly. One of the things that we've built recently is the ability to have a weekly or a monthly digest so that you can find out what's happening in your group. And so I can find out, I'm finding out weekly for the Federation. The Ocean Explorers is not a hugely active group until the summer, so I'm having a monthly report. And then I can have different ones. I can have a daily report if I have a really active community. And of course, never. We don't want to spam you. And then you can also set up your observation form. So I do ice watch. I don't want, and then I can set up which tests. So my primary tests are over here. The available tests also appear on my observation form, but maybe I don't want biochemical oxygen demand to be listed, so I can drag it over into unlisted and it's going to not show up. So I want to keep my form super short, and then you can add the frequencies. So you can see over here, dissolved oxygen, I have 3, but maybe I only want to do 1. And same with, well, maybe I want to do 3. Why not? So you can be really precise with your observation form there. But this is my personal one, which is great. But what we actually want people doing is, as a group, following a protocol. So if we go to our group, you're going to see that I can edit my group. And in here, I have control over who's my admin members and who's just a general member can contribute to there. And then I have my observation form. This is for my group. So if anyone applies their observation and say that they're applying it to this group, they're going to see my form. And again, I have my available tests. You can see my total phosphorus is a triplicate. And then I can choose which ones I want. Well, maybe sometimes we do E. coli. Why not? There we go. We don't have a dissolved oxygen percentage. So you can go in, and as a default, we limit all these and we unlist a lot of the tests that are really specific to a region. And if we're missing one of your tests, let us know and we will add it in. So I've done that, and then you can see that I can define my region. So let's, as a test, I'm going to delete it. Remove, save that. I'm going to draw a region. I want to be a little bit more precise this time. These ponds are more important. And if you'd like us to load up your watershed, then we can do that in the back end. So just contact me and I'll make sure that I get that set up for you. And then finally, this is like group level settings for allowing issues to be reported to you. I'm going to hit update. I'm going to go back to here. And then I can, on here, I can go and I can view the summary. And this is there. So I can add an observation from here, report an issue from here, or I can do it directly from the map. So add observation, report issue, and then you can also click on the map and you can create locations or whatnot. And then we have this nifty thing that allows you to geolocate to you. You're also going to see the latest observations that people have done here, which I love seeing all the observations coming in and seeing these new active citizen scientists. So I'm just going to quickly show you the form. You can see. So I switch it to my group that I want, and because I have lots of groups, they're there, but if you only have one group, it just gets assigned to you. So we also have the ability to assign it to your other group members as an admin only, and this helps with things like if you have users that find using tech difficult. It happens. I do it for my dad. He is not super technical. And it just helps the admin be able to edit and keep their data clean. So we enter in all our data here, and then you have things like these little helpers. And what it does is it explains a little bit in plain language how things are working. And we'll be soon adding protocol-specific instructions that groups can define themselves. Now we also have the ability to add other things like invasive species, and in Canada we do Ice Watch, so you can add ice on and off the water. You can add multiple images with captions and then notes. The other function is to add a report an issue. And we have these top level categories that we've worked on with our partners, and you can get a little bit of information. We really want to find out, help people determine if things are algae or not, and try and really promote education. You can do the observed on date, describe it, the weather, have you seen it before, and notified other agencies. As a default, we report it to all your groups. Because I'm part of, most people will only see one right here. But if you're not part of a group, you can also search. So I can search for mobile, and then I can see the various groups that are accepting issues. If you leave it blank, it gets sent to us at Water Rangers, and then we try and help you figure out who it goes to. So I just want to show you quickly an issue that our friend Cade in Mobile Bay in Alabama reported. It's a great example, shows what we've seen, who's been notified, and then we have what we call a timeline for the issue. So he's taken some photos, he's investigating, he's let people know, and he's actually able to inform his people, his volunteers, what's happening. And he can add photos throughout this if he wants. You can also comment and ask questions and upload additional photos. So that's a really cool way to mobilize communities around water quality. So we're working on lots of new features that are going to be released, and some ways to really more easily access some of the stuff we already have. But for now, if you have any, there's some more information in our FAQ that you can go through. But if you have any ideas of things that are missing, things that are difficult to use, we're really open and we're very community oriented, and so we'd love to talk to you about how we can make Water Rangers better for you. So thank you to all our groups that we have so far. We have over I think almost 80 groups around the world, and especially a big thank you to the Ottawa Riverkeeper and the Mobile Bay Keeper, who have been such a big part of making this experience as nice as possible for people.